Right, good afternoon everybody. Welcome to NPL's Digital Ways of Working Week. Pete is going to give us a brief download on why he thinks digital modernisation is important. Very pleased to welcome Simon Devonshire here. Slightly tongue-in-cheek, provocative title of Why Do We Even Need Science? And that will then link back to me to bring our digital strategy to life and signpost some of the exciting things we've got in the week ahead.
We're a modern organisation, a modernising organisation, and the more that we can embrace technology, actually the more that we can focus on delivering to our customers and delivering impact and delivering what we're here for. So digital modernisation is an absolute critical enabler to that. The technology on its own is only half of the answer. A trained user and somebody using it to its full potential really makes the difference. That's what we do with our customers. And so that's what Rob and the team have set up this week in our digital ways of working, our digital wow week. There are lots of champions that Rob's identified in the organisation as well. So do make use of all of that support.
I'm going to be answering this question from the perspective of an entrepreneur. But what I'm trying to advocate, and what Rob has evidenced to me with his plan, is that perhaps science is not as important as what we do with it. And that's what I'm a champion for, it's activity. That's the role of an entrepreneur. With all that is happening in the world right now, it's very easy and almost legitimate to give yourself the permission to think that these are quite troubling times. What I'm talking about is from the perspective specifically of being an entrepreneur. The cost of innovating has never been lower than it is right now. There has literally never been a better time to be an innovator and an entrepreneur. One of the attributes that I think is so important to success, particularly entrepreneurial success, is knowing exactly what problem you're trying to solve. The ventures that come unstuck are those that confuse commercial progress with purpose. So we live in an era of extinction, but I think there's a whole host of opportunities here, and each one of them represents an opportunity for business, for industry, for revenue, for economy. So when I think of regulators, I think of a mechanical thing that physically interrupts the flow, effectively slowing it down, and that's what I see our regulators doing. I think what we need is facilitators, and you could be a real voice for it. From my perspective, as an innovator and an entrepreneur, what I see is this triangle of science, measurement, and financial impact. And I think for me, that's the real sweet spot. When those three things come together, I think that absolutely, in my opinion, NPL is the first port of call. You're the first choice. Ford absolutely nailed it. He said, if I'd asked them, i.e. his consumers, they'd have asked for a quicker horse. We have to have the invention to think beyond the beliefs, attitudes and behaviours of our consumers. Before I launched iPhone to the business community, I asked business people what they thought of it, and I can tell you they universally, unanimously hated it. And yet those same people queued round the block. So you have to think differently. But I think I've hoped that I've shared with you some insights on issues and opportunities and problems that far supersede these. Because they're way bigger issues. So my challenge, and I've put this to you before, but I've got a new insight to share with you, is what's NPL's Blue Planet? I love the idea of maximising the positive impact of science on society. But what specifically is it going to be the thing that we apply that science to? We're overdue our next one. So what's it going to be? It's up to us to determine it. Literally, it is up to us. Be a force for the application of your science, not just the pursuit of it. Thank you very much, everybody.
As I say, this is the kick-off of the Digital Wow Week. It's really an opportunity for you to see how digital ways of working can help us. And as Simon says, take action, embrace innovation, be entrepreneurial in what we do, jointly drive our technology forward. And it's about making sure it's an enabler, not an inhibitor, as Simon says. So you remember this from the quarterly comms a couple of weeks ago, our strategy, the breadth of what we're looking at. And I'm pleased to announce today we've launched our digital modernisation strategy document. That's published on the microsite, more of that later. And this week is about bringing it to life. If we can make technology work for people who only have one arm or one hand, it gives us the opportunity that can actually benefit everybody. Just think, as I say, just how powerful it will be. If you learn or contribute just 10 to 15 things this week, if we all do, it's going to be an absolutely fantastic week. Thank you all.